I was just thinking where she could be, but I don't know. I wouldn't imagine her being in the hangar. Oh, see? Here she is.
Commander, are you coming to check up on me?
She still doesn't sound that alright, right? Kind of worry. I guess after everything that happens, maybe makes sense. Romance wasn't as big as a deal in games then, my opinion. It wasn't as necessary inclusion in every RPG. It definitely was like, in way less games in general, right? I was just wondering why BioWare handled it like very differently in Mass Effect and in Dragon Age. But I would still say there's more and more romance in video games, but I don't know. Are there more RPGs with romance than without? I wouldn't know. Hmm.
You look much better. How are you feeling?
Dr. Chakwas assures me I am going to be fine. I was impressed with her knowledge of Asari physiology.
She's awesome.
You're in good hands. Dr. Chakwas knows what she's doing.
I never properly thanked you for saving me from the Geth, Commander. If you hadn't shown up,
Is there... I mean, we have 3 main missions at the moment, right? Does something happen if you do this mission, like, later? Can you lose her? Or something like that?
I'm just glad we got there in time.
So am I. I know you took a chance bringing me aboard this ship. I have seen the way your crew looks at me. They do not trust me. But I am not like Benezia. I will do whatever I can to help you stop Saren. I promise.
I'm not sure why I'm not doubting you, because I don't know. She just seems like way too nice and cute. Maybe we should be more suspicious. But nah.
Don't worry, Liara. I trust you. I know you won't let me down.
It means a lot to hear you say that, Commander. Thank you.
And I guess at least some of our crewmen are also just being typical stupid human racists. Right, Ashley? Oh well. Gator was a big influence from Dragon Age. I mean, he was like the lead writer, right? Because he's also gay, yeah. And wrote Alistair and Zevran. Oh, he wrote Alistair. Didn't know that, just knew about Zevran. I remember going from BG1 to BG2 when they added the ability to romance some of the characters. Of course, there were 3 female romance options and only 1 male. Aww. But yeah, I guess. I do wonder though if the stereotype of like mainly straight guys playing video games, even back then, if that was true or just a stereotype. But well, I don't have any numbers. That's why I just wonder. Liara is nice and cute, right? And options for a non-heterosexual relationship comes a long way. True that. Alright. Let's talk a little.
Do you know why Benezia joined up with Saren?
I don't understand it. She was always outspoken about the need for the Asari to become more involved in shaping galactic events. Maybe she thought allying herself with Saren would somehow be for the greater good in the long run. At least I hope so.
I mean, I guess it also depends if Benezia knows, like, what Saren's plan actually is, or if Saren just manipulated her as well. Because, I mean, destroying all organic life? I wouldn't call it beneficial.
This hurts you, doesn't it?
None of this makes any sense to me. I have not spoken to Benezia in many years, but I know her, and this was not like her. Something changed.
Oh.
I'd like to know more about the Asari.
We were the first species to discover the Citadel. We were instrumental in forming the Council, and we always strive to be the voice of peaceful cooperation in galactic disputes. My people believe we are all part of a single galactic community. Each species contributes something to the greater whole. Although we seek to understand other species, it seems few of them seek to understand us. The galaxy is filled with rumors and misinformation about my people.
What kind of rumors and misinformation?
Like what?
Most of the inaccuracies are centered around our mating rituals. My species is
Of course.
monogendered. Male and female have no real meaning for us. We still require a partner to reproduce. This second parent, however, may be of any species and any gender.
Oh. Yeah, we talked about that last stream as well. Very crazy that there's no need for, like, genetic compatibility.
I don't understand. Your species can mate with anyone?
Mating is not quite the proper term, not as you understand it. Physical contact may or may not be involved, but it is not an essential element of the union. The true connection is mental. Our physiology allows us to meld with other beings. We can touch the very depths of their minds. We explore the genetic memory of their species. We share the most basic elements of their individual and racial identities. We then pass these traits on to our daughters. It is how we learn to grow as a species and how we develop a greater understanding of other races.
Theory, Asari are a parasite species. Oh boy. But I mean, the Asari sound really cool. I don't want to hate on that, but I gotta say, if you're like, let's create like a monogender species, Asari also seem to be very much designed to appeal to like straight guys, right? The spacefaring old women who are down to, well, reproduce with everyone. But anyway.
What happens to your partner after the union?
Every relationship is different. Some unions are a single encounter with both parents parting ways afterwards. Others can be more long-term. Sometimes an Asari and her partner will stay together for many decades.
Oh yeah, true. For a second I forgot again that the Asari get really, really old. I mean, a millennium? I wonder how many children they got. Really? I don't see that at all. Alistair, sure.
Do you know who Matriarch Benezia chose as her partner?
She rarely spoke of her partner. Though I know my father, if you want to use that term, was another Asari.
I thought you always needed another species to serve as one of the parents.
Think about it, Shepard. If we were not able to mate with our own species, we would have died out long before we ever mastered spaceflight and left our homeworld. Union with
She
our
makes
own
a very good
kind is
point.
no longer common, not for the purposes of reproduction. Most Asari believe it weakens our species. Asari daughters inherit racial traits from the father species. If both parents are Asari, then nothing has been gained, or so conventional wisdom would hold. I am what is sometimes called a pureblood. Though no Asari would ever be cruel enough to say the word to my face, it is a great insult among my people. It is possible Benezia's partner was embarrassed by their union. She may have been too ashamed to publicly acknowledge me as her offspring.
Yet, in a later game, they seem to appear different to different species. So maybe it's just how they look to humans. Oh, do you think it's maybe part of their biotic powers to appear, like, differently and maybe also, like, differently appealing to, like, different species? They have 3 life stages. They generally have children in the middle stage, so they may have 1 or 2 serious relationships in this period. And this is the settling down phase. Ah. Oh, but Liara, that sounds really sad.
Maybe she wanted to meet you but couldn't. Something could have happened to her. Maybe she passed away.
You might be right. I hope you are. But I have no way to know for sure. Benezia never spoke of her partner. Whatever happened, it caused her too much pain to dwell on it. She raised me by herself, though that is not uncommon. Many Asari raise their children alone, particularly if the father species is short-lived. Often the partner will pass on long before the child reaches maturity.
I guess that also makes sense why it hits Liara a little bit more that Benezia is on Saren's side. She just had like one parent, and that parent now is off to destroy the galaxy. Great.
You Asari live for 1,000 years. What happens when your partner dies?
Few sapient species live as long as my kind. We have learned to take a philosophical approach to our unions. We do not focus on the inevitable loss of our partners. Instead, we enjoy the time we spend with them. And even after they're gone, A part of them lives on in us. The Union is a connection that transcends both time and space.
Oh, that sounds really beautiful, though.
I'd like to know more.
No, I already asked
Although
that.
we seek to understand others.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
Okay. Another mission, another lesson on alien protocol and culture. Right, let's go down to the hangar and let's see what the others are up to. And hey, welcome back, dude. We're gonna really like Asari if they can have children with them without worrying about their dinner fate, and they both live to 1000. Oh, true. They could actually spend their whole life together. Are there like many unions between the two species? They do seem to have very different focuses, though, I'd say. Like the Asari really going for peace and diplomacy, and the Krogan really liking like warfare. No, not really. Thought so.
Commander, you have a minute to talk.
Ah, come on, Ashley. What do you have to say?
I keep an open door policy. If you have any concerns, lay them on me.
All right. I know things are different aboard the Normandy, but I'm concerned about the aliens, Vicarian and Rex. With respect,
Oh.
Commander, should they have full access to the ship?
No, you're right. Let's cage them up, right? They're just our allies.
You don't trust their motives because they're not human.
This is the most advanced ship in the Alliance Navy. I don't think we should give them free rein to poke around the vital systems. Engines, sensors, weapons.
Sigh. I hate it. Ashley, you're really easily at the bottom of my companion list so far. And I don't see you coming out of there. This is going to go bad. Alistair, it is. Oh, Ashley. Yay, space racism. Yeah, great, right? It's nothing. I mean, Ashley is nothing compared to like all the racist characters in Dragon Age. Cause with playing an elf, we've seen those characters.
That's enough, Chief. You always second-guess your superiors?
Sir! No, sir. I'm sorry, I was out of line.
I wanted to
get back
call
to
it
my
for
duties,
racism.
Commander.
Not. Well. Ashley, we're not in 40k.
Commander?
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Not sure I buy Dr. Tassoni's story about her and her mom not talking. They're
Of course she
family,
doesn't.
right?
I think she's being straight with us. Or at least, I don't think she lies very often.
Yeah, she's probably really bad at it. Too bad those ruins got destroyed. I mean, they lasted thousands of years. That's impressive.
Oh well.
Do you have a few minutes to talk one-on-one?
I'm sorry, Commander. I need to get my duties squared away. I wouldn't
Okay.
mind talking more.
Dismissed,
later,
Chief.
Sir.
I guess that's always the line for come back later, after the next main mission. Burn the heretic, kill the mutant, purge the unclean. Sorry, wrong universe. Yeah, that's what I meant earlier. Actually gives me some Argenta vibe here.
So, we've got Saren on the run.
Yes, and that's good.
It won't be long now. Saren's good, but I'm better.
Good. He's rotten. To the core. I could tell as soon as I met him.
Oh, they met?
Why didn't you tell me this sooner?
I would have if I thought I was important.
Well,
I think I'd like to hear about it just the same.
This was a while ago. A bunch of mercs were bragging about a job out near the edges of the Terminus systems. They said it paid well and the boss was never around to ride them. They said he was looking for more men, too. So I checked it out.
oh, Rex worked for Saren?
I didn't know Saren was openly recruiting mercs.
It wasn't that open, and he only showed his face
Do we get
once.
money from the
We've
Citadel?
been raiding ships in the area for months when we took out this massive cargo freighter. Our biggest haul yet. I was on board checking bodies for valuables, looking for some extra credits. That's when I saw him.
Necrons would laugh at them. I think you missed that, Alistair, but earlier when I was reading like some of the planet descriptions, there was one planet which was like a very green, glowy looking world, and was telling that there are like lots of like small holes of grace inside of them, and it did sound kind of like Necron world.
What did Saren want with the ship?
I don't know what he wanted. He was just moving through the ship, watching.
Tomb world, yeah,
Couple
Tomb
of
world,
mercs
Necron
called him by
world. You know
name.
what I mean.
But he never spoke to them. Never spoke to anyone. I had a really bad feeling about him. So I got the hell out. Didn't even wait to get paid.
Oh, Rex might have been a wise decision.
What kind of cargo was the freighter carrying? What was Saren after?
I don't know. All I saw on that ship was food and medical supplies. There were some basic weapons, but nothing big. If there was anything of value on that ship, I didn't see it. That's why I didn't mention it sooner.
Maybe something about the ship? Maybe it was also like one of those weird ships we saw in the beginning, right?
Whose ship was it?
There was a Volus trading vessel. Big
Maybe
one.
not.
Lots of guards. But they were no match for us.
That's the only time you saw him?
Yeah. Didn't even know who he was. Still wouldn't if I hadn't joined up with you. But my instincts were right. Every other merc on that mission turned up dead within a week. Every damn one.
Lucky for you.
So long, Rex.
Lucky for us to have you here.
Shepard.
Okay, Garrus. Are you trying to improve our Mako? Thank you, Garrus.
Commander, how are
I hope you can fix it.
Why did you want to be a CSEC officer in the first place?
That's a good question. There were several reasons, I guess.
Like what?
Probably the same as most officers. I wanted to fight injustice, wanted to help people. I guess my father had something to do with it too. He was CSEC, one of the best. I grew up hearing about his accomplishments or seeing his picture on the vids after a big arrest. He's taking my resignation pretty hard.
I would, by the way, suggest that after this dialogue, we're just like increasing the dialogue volume a little bit.
He's not impressed that you're going after Saren?
My father's a CSEC man to the bone. Do things right or don't do them at all, he says. He thinks I'm being
City
too
guard
rash,
mentality.
too impatient. He's worried I'll become just like Saren. He actually talked me out of becoming a Spectre when I was younger, for the same reasons.
Oh, Garrus could have been a Spectre?
You were asked to be a Spectre?
Well, I was targeted as a possible Spectre candidate. Me and about 1,000 other Turian military recruits. I could have received special training, but my father didn't like it. He despises the Spectres. He hates the idea of someone having unlimited power with no accountability. He wouldn't like you, Commander. No offense.
I want unlimited power. Where is our unlimited power? Where's all the money in the world?
I suppose I can understand his concern.
You can. But Saren's not going to play by our rules, CSEC's rules. If you want to nail Saren, you need to send someone who isn't restricted by policies and procedures.
I would assume that also like the Citadel is just like probably also like just very slow with all the regulations and the council, the CSEC, all the bureaucrats in between. Because I mean, as Garrus said earlier, like looking into Saren didn't turn up anything, right?
You're a quick learner, Garrus. We'll beat him at his own game. It's the only way to stop someone like him.
I'm right behind you, Commander.
A little surprised we didn't get a renegade point or two for that. Hey, Tali.
Oh, hello, Shepard.
Aww. Just wanted to say, she sounds kind of down, right? Like, I need this. You can't be such an asshole in this game.
Are you okay?
I don't know. Your ship is amazing, and your crew's been really great to me, especially your chief engineer. But I just sort of feel out of place. The Normandy runs so smooth it feels like we're not even moving, and the engines are so quiet. How do you sleep at night?
You just seem too quiet to sleep. Turians are very rigid. They come from a fascist meritocracy, so they don't like breaking rules and procedures. So in general, very lawful. But oh boy, fascist meritocracy. Yikes.
The silence wakes you up?
Back on the flotilla, the last thing you want to hear is silence. It means an engine's died or an air filter shut down. I guess you don't have to worry about that here. But old habits die hard. But it's more than just the silence. This ship feels so empty. It's like half the crew is missing. Back home, I couldn't wait to go on my pilgrimage. I couldn't wait to get away from the crowds. Now that I'm out here, I kind of miss them.
I wonder, like, in the flotilla, do they still have to wear, like, the suits? Or do they just have, like, I don't know, like, life systems which just, like, guarantee that they don't grow sick and stuff like that? And that all the bacteria and stuff are filtered out?
Sometimes we don't appreciate what we have until it's gone.
That's true. I'm starting to wonder if that's what the pilgrimage is really about. It's given me a whole new perspective on my people and our culture. You know, there's always a few who go on their pilgrimages and never return. I always assumed something bad happened to them, but maybe they just wanted a different life.
Yes, they're stuck in their suits nearly permanently. Ooh, boy. I was kind of hoping that at least, like, at home, they would be free of them. I guess it's like your most treasured possession then, right? I mean, it's basically just always keeping you alive.
You do plan to return to the migrant fleet, right?
I could never abandon my people, Shepard. I will go back eventually, but we have to stop Saren first. Otherwise, I might not have a home to go back to.
True.
I should go.
See you later.
Okay. Core charge status. That's just something for the codex. Right, I'd say let's go for the next main mission. Or a side mission. Let's see what we encounter first. Read this. We are the harbingers of your perfection, Imperium. Perfect this abominable intelligence filth. 5 microcannons. Chaos. Did you just try to particularly bend my mind to your will? Oh, you pure amateurs. Orcs. You talk funny. We crump. You're good. Asari. Oh, another primitive race with delusions of godhood. Let the monkey fight each other, or we cannot. Necrons. Why about the pretenders? But keep a few alive. Trezen wants some. Nice. Good job making those lines, Manatan. Anyway. So, I think there was another planet here. Yes. Weistos. Oh, it's a very nice golden glow. Weistos is a small terrestrial with a trace atmosphere of carbon dioxide and xenon. The surface is scorching hot and mainly composed of sulfur and various silicates. There's little of interest on this desolate world. Yeah, it looks very dried out. Okay, I would say we explore the rest of the system and then we leave it. I'm not sure if the game is tracking or showing that we already
Message
explored
coming
something.
in.
Oh.
Patching it through.
Oh.
Commander Shepard, my name is Nasana Dantius. I have a job for you. I can't say any more in an unsecured communication. If you're interested in hearing my offer, meet me on the Citadel so we can talk in person. I'll be waiting in the Diplomat's Lounge on the Presidium.
Interesting. Great, maybe after exploring the system we're going back. Pharos. Distant Pharos has seen only a cursory examination by an unmanned probe. It has a trace atmosphere of nitrogen and argon. Its surface is mainly composed of tin, oh interesting, with deposits of carbon. Deeper craters have been partially filled with ice, suggesting there may be a significant amount of water locked up beneath its frozen surface. A large, ice-bright crater in the southern hemisphere makes the planet visible from the inner system, leading to the planet's name. How's that connected to the name Pharos? Anyway. Turian insignia recovered. Scans of the planet Pharos revealed an abandoned base on its moon. The recon team find nothing of interest, but much of the debris was marked with the Magna Colony insignia. I wonder if that's just like a fun fact or actually useful. I like all the Greek names here. Sassy. Sassy is a modestly sized hydrogen helium gas giant with traces of sulfur and chlorine. These give it its striking yellow-green tint. As the development of the Proteus colony continues, Cersei will likely be developed for helium-3 mining. Well, and we found some helium-3. Not very surprising. Nausicaa. Traces of sodium in the atmosphere give Nausicaa its overall dark grey color, but it is otherwise a typical hydrogen-helium gas giant. An abundance of water vapor in the upper atmosphere account for its white clouds. It looks really pretty. Probably, with all the sodium, you really don't want to get there with any fire. Proteus. Look at that! Here, it's just grey and boring. Up close, very fancy light blue. Like the Hena home world, Proteus has more than 90% oceanic cover. The incredible heat thrown off from Athens raises global humidity to 100%, creates condensed clouds cover, and powers colossal typhoons that rage across the surface year-round. Hot, humid, and storm-racked, Proteus' rare combination of oxygen nitrogen atmosphere and carbon-based biosphere nevertheless recommended for colonization. I just want to say, it sounds kind of like Earth, right? A pilot program is studying the possibility of colonies below the ocean surface, safe from the worst effects of the weather. And we found some free oxygen. Salamis. The geological properties of Salamis have been scanned from orbit, but little else is known about it. Due to its thick carbon dioxide atmosphere and proximity to the energetic star Athens, the equatorial daytime temperatures have been known to turn the surface molten. The crust is composed of iron with deposits of platinum group metals. Just imagine like a planet melting in half. Nausicaa is the name of a Ghibli movie. True. True. Or part of the name, I guess. Okay, last but not least, Macedon. Let's see if there's something to do here. That's definitely smaller. I don't know, Fragilus? Fragilus is a standard hydrogen-helium Fragilus is a standard hydrogen-helium gas giant with an abundance of airborne hydrocarbons. I'm not sure why that was hard to pronounce, but hydrogen-helium, I don't know, kinda twisted my tongue. And we found some xenon. Patavik is the second of the Macedon system's giant terrestrial planets. That looks a little bit like a dried out Earth, right? And by far the most interesting. Most of the surface is covered by a vast sea of liquid ammonia, in which a unique aquatic ammonia-based biosphere is developed. While the frozen continents are largely bereft of life, a rich bounty of complex organisms, many larger than a human, flourish in the chilly, toxic seas. Ooh, fancy. Where dreadfully inhospitable to humans, Patavik is suitable for colonization by the Volus. True. They actually do enjoy ammonia. Negotiations between the Systemic Alliance and the Volus patrons, the Turian hierarchy, have made good progress. Here. There's two more. Orolan. Orolan is an enormous terrestrial planet, half again the size of the Earth. Despite its thick atmosphere and the weak output of the red dwarf Macedon leaves its surface biting cold. The crust is mainly composed of silica, but significant deposits of iron and other industrial metals are present. These lodes may prove rich enough to be profitable mined despite the heavy gravity. It's really interesting that okay, I shouldn't go too much off the tangent here, but I mean, on our planet, life really depends on carbon. Because carbon is really unique, that it can form like multiple different bonds. So you can have like single bonds, double bonds, triple bonds, and it's very flexible. And the only other element which could provide this kind of flexibility, less, but still a decent amount of that, is silica. So there's been like lots of theories if like there could also be like life based on like silica instead of carbon. It would be really cool to discover that. Matriarch's writing recovered. Oh, do you think it's Benezia? You were scanning the planet Prolan when a strange signal came from orbit. Navigator Presley determined the signal was from an ancient beacon. Your salvage team brought the beacon aboard and found one of Matriarch Dilinaga's writings in its storage compartment. Alien names.